Hello dear students, I hope all of you are fine. Welcome to your chemistry class. Students, this is your syllabus for second term. There will be three chapters. Chapter number 4, Atom, Molecules and Radicals. Chapter 5, The Language of Chemistry. And Chapter 6, Metals and Non-Metals. The first two chapters, that is chapter 4th and 5th, we have already done. So they will be repeated in second term also. Now we will be doing chapter number 6, Metals and Non-Metals. Today we will be starting chapter 6, Metals and Non-Metals, which is given on page number 49 of your book. So be ready with your books and take a pencil with you. So let's start our chapter. On the basis of their general properties, elements are often divided into two classes, metals and non-metals. You have to understand one thing, that metals and non-metals combined are also known as elements. We will further know about elements in chapter 3. Okay, so let's begin. More than 115 elements are known today. Of these, 24 are non-metals and most are metals. There are some elements whose properties lie between those of metals and non-metals. They are known as metalloids. जो इन दोनों की प्रॉपर्टीज शो करे, कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज मेटल्स की और कुछ नॉन मेटल्स की शो करे, उनको क्या कहते हैं? मेटलॉइड्स. आज हम जनरल प्रॉपर्टीज करेंगे किसकी? मेटल्स की. मेटल्स आर इन जनरल हार्ड एंड स्ट्रॉन्ग. इट इज सेइंग कि एक प्रॉपर्टी है जो मेटल की होती है, वो क्या है कि मेटल्स जनरली विल बी हार्ड एंड स्ट्रॉन्ग. Some examples of metals are potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, iron, zinc, tin, copper, mercury, silver, gold and platinum. These are a few names which are given to you. You have to learn their symbols also, which are given in the brackets. You can see their images also on the right side. Here you can see steel, copper, aluminium, mercury, zinc, tungsten, silver, magnesium, titanium and tin. You can see that all of them are hard and strong. Metals have the following general properties. Metals have a luster known as metallic luster. For example, aluminium, iron, zinc, copper, silver and gold are all lustrous. Such metals can be polished too. Luster means they appear very shiny and sparkly. Their appearance is very shinier. So it is very lustrous. Second property is metals are generally hard, strong solids. मेटल्स जनरली बहुत हार्ड होते हैं, बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एल्यूमिनियम, आयरन, जिंक, टिन एंड कॉपर. दे आर स्ट्रॉन्ग इनफ टू बेयर हैवी लोड्स, दैट इज दे हैव अ हाई टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ. अब टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ समझो कि अगर हम उस पर जितनी मर्जी फोर्स लगा लें या कितनी भी हम उससे भारी चीज उठाएं, वो ब्रेक नहीं होगी. इट वोंट ब्रेक. Thus, metal ropes are used in ropeways for transporting heavy loads. जैसे कि आप इमेज में भी देख सकते हो. And it is the tensile strength of iron that makes a bridge or a skyscraper able to withstand high pressures. तो वो bridges, वो skyscrapers, उन पे ये metals यूज होते हैं ताकि उस पे जितना मर्जी उस पे फोर्स लग रही हो या फिर उस पे जितना मर्जी वेट आ रहा हो, वो उस वेट की वजह से ब्रेक ना हो. इसमें भी एक्सेप्शंस है. मतलब there are metals which are not very hard or very strong. These are sodium and potassium. These are soft solids which can be cut with a knife, and mercury is a liquid under ordinary conditions. So sodium and potassium are very soft. They can be cut with a knife. So they don't have a high tensile strength. They are not hard. Okay. So you have to always remember the exceptions, because there will be exceptions in all the cases. A few metals or a few non-metals will be there which don't go according to their properties. Mercury is a liquid under ordinary conditions. Alright, you have to remember this, that mercury is a liquid under ordinary conditions. The third property is metals are sonorous. When struck, they produce a sound called metallic sound or metallic clink. Recall the ringing of a bell or the clink of coins. In this, they are saying that whenever a metal is struck, we can struck it with something, right? It will produce a sound which can be referred to as metallic sound or metallic clink. We have heard the ringing of the bell, right? So these are examples of the property of being sonorous. Fourth property is metals generally have high density. Firstly, we should know what is density. Density is mass per unit volume. We have studied about it, right? A few examples are given below. Iron, copper, gold, platinum, and their respective densities are given. We have to know that this density is given to us with respect to what? With respect to water. They are having high density with respect to water. That's why they don't float over water. They sink in it. They are having higher density than water. That is why whenever we put a metal into water, it will sink. We should know that it is having a few exceptions also. For example, potassium, sodium, magnesium and aluminium. They have comparatively low densities and are light. These metals, they don't show the property of being highly dense. That is why they will always float over water and will never sink because their density is less. So you should remember these exceptions. Okay. Fifth property is metals generally have high melting points and boiling points. Some examples are given to you. Melting point means that point at which that metal starts melting. We have seen ice melting, right? So that is the case with metals also. They melt. But you should remember that their melting point is not achieved very easily. You can see the examples of aluminium, iron, copper. See their melting points. 660 degrees Celsius, 1535 degrees Celsius, 1083 degrees Celsius. These are very high melting points and these can't be achieved very easily. Same is the case with boiling point. We know what is a boiling point. That point at which that metal will start boiling, right? We have seen water boiling. We have to achieve a particular temperature for it that it should start boiling. So the boiling point of metals is also very high. Aluminium is having a boiling point of 2467 degrees Celsius. It is a very high boiling point and these melting points are so high that you can't achieve them very easily. So you have to remember that metals are having very high melting points and boiling points. Potassium, sodium, tin and lead have comparatively low melting points but quite high boiling points. So they are saying that the few examples that we have seen earlier of metals, they were having very high melting points. According to that, we are having low melting points of these potassium, sodium, tin and lead. Comparing to them, these are having low melting points. But boiling points are same according to that. They are having quite high boiling points. Exception, the main thing. Exception is the liquid metal mercury freezes at minus 39 degrees Celsius and boils at 357 degrees Celsius. We had seen earlier also that mercury is not a very hard metal. So it was exception over there also. Same is the case over here. It is an exception in the melting point and boiling point also. It is having a very low melting point and the boiling point is also not very high. Thank you students. The rest of the properties we will be doing in the next video. Take care.